Hey guys, what's going on? It's Filmington. In a recent episode, I went into Topps flagship, Topps Chrome. I talked about the true rookie cards, how to identify them, and which ones to target. In this episode, we're going to be navigating the wonderful world that is modern Bowman. We're going to be talking about the key equivalents to target from major Bowman products. And this isn't going to be exactly apples to apples because with Bowman, we're going to be focusing mostly on prospect cards instead of true rookie cards. And further, we're going to be focusing a lot of the discussion around certified autograph cards, which is the bread and butter of what Bowman does. With this episode, just to be clear, we're going to be focusing on the major Bowman releases. So that's Bowman Baseball, Bowman Chrome, and Bowman Draft. We're not going to be talking about Mega Box, Bowman Draft Sapphire. We're not going to be talking about Bowman First Edition. We're trying to keep this as simple as possible. Plus, there really are limited data points on at least two of those three more recent releases that I mentioned. And the data and the examples that I'll be using are going to be from the last 10 to 11 years. So let's first talk about autographs. With autographs, you're going to want the top certified autograph of the player from their first prospect issue in a Bowman release, in a major Bowman release. And at least 90% of the time, this is actually going to have the first prospect text written right on the front of the card. So it's going to be pretty easily identifiable. Now, I said 90% because in some cases, like with 2013, with all of Bowman's major releases that year, the first prospect cards didn't actually have the writing explicitly on the front of the card. You'd see this with Aaron Judge, Austin Meadows, Carlos Correa, Byron Buxton, etc. But if you're to look at market values for those cards, you can clearly see that they're by far the most highly sought after Bowman Chrome autographs. That's because they're the first issued in a major Bowman release. Now, another kind of strange example is with 2010 and 2011, Bowman issued USA cards. A lot of these were Chrome autograph cards. Corey Seager had one. Alex Bregman had them in back-to-back years. These had sticker autographs. They were top certified autographs, but they were sticker autographs. Also, unlike most of what we see today with first Bowman Chrome autograph prospect cards, the players weren't featured in their airbrushed Major League uniforms. They had USA jerseys on. So in these examples, the Corey Seagers, the Alex Bregmans, Matt Olsons, etc., they actually had a first Bowman Chrome autograph card later that featured an on-card signature, that featured them in their professional uniforms, airbrushed, that would sell for a factor of probably 6 to 8 times more. Another thing that kind of trips a lot of people up is that some players have their first non-autograph cards in earlier draft products from where their first Bowman Chrome autograph cards are featured. So with Rafael Devers, he was featured in 2015 Bowman Baseball. That's where he has his first autograph from a Bowman product. But before that, he was actually featured in 2014 Bowman Draft. And that's where we saw his first non-autographed prospect card. With Rhys Hoskins, very similar, 2018 Bowman Baseball. He's got his first autograph from a Bowman product. But then 2014 Bowman Draft is where he has his first non-autographed prospect card. Eloy Jimenez, Carter Kieboom are their examples where their first non-autograph card is in an earlier year version of Bowman Draft. So with this, the first autograph card, despite it not having that text on it that says first prospect, it holds a lot of value, and basically the same amount of value is if it had the first Bowman writing on it. Even though it doesn't have it, it's still considered to be the first Bowman Chrome autograph. Another thing that trips a lot of people up is the existence of an RC logo on Bowman branded cards. I don't know when this started, but in 2011 we saw this with Mike Trout, and we still see it today. Basically, unless it's the first issued Bowman prospect or Bowman prospect autograph of that player that happens to have an RC logo, which is in the case of Hoskins and Otani, we'll talk about Otani a little bit more later, the RC card is usually not a strong investment card. The RC logo is usually not an attractive feature like when you have an RC logo on Topps flagship or Topps Chrome branded cards. The fact is that most of these Bowman branded RC logo cards are garbage cards. Most of these are lucky to find their ways into dollar boxes for years to come. Clearly, we have some exceptions with premium players that have autographs. You'd see that with 2015, Francisco Lindor, 2017, Bellinger's got an autograph, 2018, Acuna's got an autograph. But this still means that they sell for a fraction of what their first Bowman Chrome autograph would sell for. Mike Trout's another exception. We're going to talk about him in a little bit. He's got multiple issues with the RC logo on it in 2011. So again, with autographs, you're going to want the autograph of the player from their first prospect issue in a major Bowman release, and at least 90% of the time that's going to have the text first Bowman or first prospect right on the front of the card. Now let's move on to non-autographed first Bowman cards, and here we're talking about the first issued cards of a major Bowman release. So again, just Bowman Baseball, Bowman Chrome, Bowman Draft, and we're talking about cards that aren't autographed, but generally the same rules are going to apply, where you're going to want to go for the card that has that first prospect text right on the front of the card. And in regards to whether they make great investments, I can weigh in on that, I guess. I think they are great alternatives. They're going to be a bit cheaper. I personally like the ones that are from the standard colors, the blue, the gold, the orange, the reds, before some of the more manufactured variants came out in the more recent years. I do like the true colors as well versus the shimmers and the waves personally. Another thing I like is the regular refractors if they're numbered. Usually we're talking number to 499, but what you'll notice is that not all Bowman sets or years will feature refractors that actually have the writing 499 on the back. And it's not just the newer cards that don't. You really have to look out for it because it is kind of confusing. Base cards that aren't autographed. Especially for the top players in the game, I think they can be very good investment cards as well. Ideally, you want those in the higher grades where they're more rare. Some examples of players that I like: Wander Franco, Ronald Acuna, Mookie Betts, and they definitely have the market values to back that up. Even to an extent, the paper base cards can hold some value with some of the more top prospects and players in the game. One of the things you'll notice with the non-autograph cards is that sometimes it can come before the autograph, and we talked about this a little bit with Devers and Hoskins and Eloy, etc. But in this case, the base and refractor non-autograph issues can actually command a small premium on this. Another example of this was JD Martinez in 2010. He had his first Bowman Chrome not autograph card. In 2011, that's when he had his first Bowman Chrome autograph. In some instances, there's going to be a first prospect autograph card and not a first prospect non-autograph issue for a player that has the writing first Bowman on it. In this case, the first non-auto card actually comes out the following year after the first autograph Bowman card. Some examples here: Cody Bellinger and Gleyber Torres in 2015 Bowman Chrome. Juan Soto, Bowman Chrome 2016, didn't have his first non-autograph card. He actually had two in the next year in Bowman Chrome and in Bowman Draft. And Yordan Alvarez, 2018 Bowman Chrome, just had an autograph card. Here you might see a temporary or a small premium for the earliest non-autograph base card. So with Juan Soto, you might see his second year card, which is really his first year non-autograph card, sell for a bit more than it would have otherwise. Generally, you want to target the one that comes out sooner in most cases, I would think. Mike Trout comes up here, where he had his first Bowman prospect issue card in the form of an autograph only in 2009, and this is the one that most people consider to be his holy grail card. But 2 years later, in 2011, he had two non-autograph cards in both Bowman Chrome and in Bowman Draft. These both had RC logos on them. They both sell very well. And the one that sells for more is actually the one that came out in the first product, the red jersey, 175 from Bowman Chrome. There's actually fewer of those too, which is another reason why it probably sells for more. Now, in rare cases, there won't be an autograph or a non-autograph first Bowman card with the first Bowman text on it. This doesn't happen all too often, but a couple examples that I found were Seth Beer in 2019. He has his earliest autograph and he has his earliest non-autograph card in Bowman and Bowman Draft, respectively. Neither one of those has the first text on it. But I believe, kind of a short sample size, we're looking at limited data, but we're looking at values for each of those cards like as if they had the first Bowman text on them, because there is no alternative for Seth Beer. Now, another weird example that's similar to Seth Beer is with Shohei Otani. So with Otani, in 2018, that's when he had his first release in a major Bowman product. He actually had 2 autograph cards, and he had multiple non-autograph cards as well in 2018 Bowman Baseball, as well as 2018 Bowman Chrome. So from an autograph perspective, the best one is the one where he's in a pitching pose, because that's the one that came out first in 2018 Bowman Baseball. From a non-autograph perspective, though, the one that people seem to be spending money on is him in a batter stance, and that's from 2018 Bowman Chrome. And I believe that's because he just wasn't featured in a Chrome non-autograph card in 2018 Bowman. So despite it coming later, that's the first Chrome non-autograph base card for people to choose. So to sum things up with non-autograph cards, you're going to want the first prospect issue in a major Bowman release with the accompanying first Bowman or first prospect text on the front of the card. You're going to want this 99% of the time with non-autograph cards. There's very few exceptions here. Earlier with autographs, there were a few more exceptions. And that's all for today. Hopefully you liked what you saw. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Filmington out.